What's going on, everybody? My name is Ben, and welcome back to the bench for another episode of Sci-Fi Wednesdays. We are back on the bench with our 1/144 scale Bandai Millennium Falcon from the movie Solo, a Star Wars story. And today I'm going to go ahead and continue with some of the lighting. Now, last episode I came in and I worked very diligently on the center living quarters. So today I want to go ahead and see if I can add in some lights. That should be kind of fun. We also went ahead and overcoated the inside of both the upper and lower portions of the hull with some Stannar's gray primer. We did a little bit of detail painting and installed the upper and lower gun positions, and we went ahead and drilled out some openings for fiber optics. So that's coming along nicely. The top part of the hull, we did something similar using some Stannar's primer, but also inserting some of the recessed detail, just some panels that go up there. That's looking pretty decent. And as you can see right here, this opening, that is where we're going to be able to look down inside to see the living quarters. And that's what I want to go ahead and focus on today. Now, honestly, this kit is going together beautifully. The living quarters are very, very, very nicely detailed. I'm always surprised at the amount of detail that Bandai can push into any of their kits. We also have the front escape pod all built up. And I mentioned this last time, I thought about maybe adding in one little light in the very front, but then again, I kind of figured, nah, we won't do that. I'm just not going to worry about that. We're going to go ahead and focus on, right now, the living quarters, or maybe the entertainment area, if you will. Now, we have everything painted and gloss coated with Future, and everything is very nicely shiny, very glossy. It looks very clean, much like it does in the movie, so I'm happy with that. But as we can see, it's going to drop down right on the lower section of the hull, and I need to go ahead and figure out how to put in those lights. I'd already initially planned on adding in 3 lights that are going to shine down in between each of those bulkheads, and so that shouldn't be all that difficult to do, but I need to go ahead and add in 3 more across from it, so we don't have just one side lit up and the other side not. I want to have as even of a light source as I can. Giving you a little bit of a close-up here, you can see some of the detail. We've got the decals all nicely installed. We have everything painted. We have it weathered slightly. And then, of course, we have a gloss coat on it. And the floor looks pretty shiny. I also left the openings for each of the hallways in a matte black, trying to differentiate that from the floor. And I think it works okay. It's not perfect, but it's going to do. But with all that being said and done, we are finished with the majority of the painting for this area. So like I said, I want to go ahead and add in 3 LEDs. I've got the holes drilled out, as you can see. Honestly, when you go ahead and put the top part of the hull on here, you're not going to be able to see much in there. It's very dark, it's very cramped, very tight. So I figure if we can go ahead and throw in some lights, it would actually make things a lot easier to see. So let's go ahead and push over to our first time lapse. We're going to push on that living quarter lighting. We're going to see what we can do and string in some SMDs. Just have some fun with it, guys. Let's do it and let's get started. All right, everybody, we are back, and that went very, very well. We have 6 SMDs installed in the living quarters themselves. We've got 3 in the back and 3 in the front. I tried to line them up so they would be pretty even, and the light that kind of shines downwards onto the floor reflects upwards, and I think it looks pretty cool. Now, I won't know how bright it actually is until I get this kind of rigged up and I put the top portion of the hull on, but I'm okay with it. I think it's going to be bright enough. It's better than nothing, for sure. Basically right here though, I'm going to go ahead and string up a couple of these very tiny wires, and we're going to take some ribbon cable and connect both the front and the back positive and the negative leads together. And then I want to go ahead and attach them to the battery pack, and we're going to test it to see how it looks with all the lights on. Now keep in mind, nothing is soldered, they're just kind of twisted together, so I might not get a really clean connection, but at least it'll give you kind of an idea of what I'm going for. And there we go. We can kind of see what we're going at here. We've got the 3 up front, 3 behind. When I get it to light, it actually looks kind of cool. So it's going to look even better, I think, when we go ahead and get that top portion of the hole down, so we don't have a lot of light contamination from my overheads. But that of course means we need to go ahead and kind of redo the wiring itself, because it's kind of all over the place. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of tuck the front wires underneath the pod itself and string them back to meet with the rear wires. And then I'll just twist them all together, positive to positive, negative to negative. And eventually I'll go ahead and solder up some additional wires from my ribbon cable stash, and we'll go ahead and drop it down through the opening in the bottom, which I have to go ahead and drill, and then we'll be able to drop that into our switch and our battery pack. Now while we're at it, guys, let's also talk a little bit about the rear engine. Now the Bandai kit gives you a couple of openings here for some LEDs, but I don't want to use that. I want to use this, and this is actually an LED strip of blue LED lights. Yeah, it's not really densely packed together. We can probably fit about 4 of these surface mounted LEDs right there, and that's okay. It's not going to be perfect. We might have a few hot spots here and there, but I think overall it's going to be brighter and it's going to look better than just having 2 LEDs just kind of stuck off to the side. So let's go ahead and just test this real quick. I'm again just going to hold these connections together, and we're going to see if this actually works. So let's go ahead and just touch these wires together and let's see. Okay, yeah, it works. And looks like, yeah, we can fit about 4 LEDs, and we're going to have to position those very neatly along all those areas. So let's go ahead and move over to our second time lapse, guys. We have the engine lighting we want to go ahead and install. To do that, we're going to have to take away some of the internal detailing on that blue section. Luckily for us, it is open in the middle, so that should allow us to go ahead and wedge that right up inside, and we should be good to go. Let's go ahead and get those gunner position modified just slightly so everything fits together. And then I want to go ahead and drill a hole for the stand that will eventually go down into the base. So we're getting there, guys. Let's go ahead and push on, get another time lapse under our belt, and we'll see what we can do. But we're going to go ahead and call it quits for today, guys. I think we have done quite a bit of work, even though it doesn't seem like a whole lot of progress. We are definitely moving forward inch by inch, yard by yard. And I think we are on the right track. Our living quarter lighting is all nicely done. It's tacked into place. We've grouped our wires, so we're good on that. We have our rear lighting kind of set up already with that lighting strip for the engine. We're going to need a positive and negative wire on that. But so far, we can run it off of my 3-volt battery pack, so that's good. And then all we have left to do really for lighting is figure out the fiber optics. Now, I've already drilled out several openings here in the bottom of the saucer and on the sides of the saucer that will accommodate my fiber optics. So I need to figure out where the light source is going to be, maybe on the left or right rear corner, and then we'll just string it out from there. Now, I don't want to make it so it's super bright. I don't want a lot of light leaks, or I don't want to make the engine a bit brighter on one side. I just want to go ahead and get that positioned in such a space where I don't have to worry too much about it. then I can string my fiber optics to each of the openings. So that should be pretty easy to do in theory. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So until our next episode, you guys know the drill. Go out there, get yourself some bench time, have some fun, build something cool. And we'll see you back here on episode number 7 for the Lando Falcon here on Sci-Fi Wednesdays. Thanks so much, everybody. Take care, and we'll see you soon.